Yes, it's another adventure with Hidden Inca Tours, and today we're exploring Karnak near Luxor in Egypt. Please consider joining our tour in April of 2019, where we'll visit Karnak and many other exciting ancient places. So this is a scale model of what Luxor originally looked like. I believe it had 11 obelisks originally. And here again we see the overall layout of dynastic Karnak. It's one of the largest archaeological sites in Egypt and in fact the world. And this is the dynastic aspect, as in sandstone column construction. What we're going to focus on though is the pre-dynastic, much more ancient works in harder stones. So there appears to have been a cataclysmic event that happened at Karnak and other locations about 12,000 years ago. And in the case of Karnak, the path of destruction seems to have been solar plasma that went right down this route that I'm walking. Interestingly, it's 23.5 degrees off east-west, so the planet might have been in a different axis at that time. And what we're looking at is major destruction to the hard stone surfaces such as granite and basalt. This groove is a power saw mark of some kind, indicating lost ancient high technology in the past. And here we get to have another look at it. Perfectly even. And also these core drill holes that we find not only at Karnak, but also other sites such as Abu Sir. And you can see this core drill is massive in size, very industrial, very ancient. And then we also see the granite surfaces here have basically been burnt off. This is not destruction by some tribal people. This is some kind of cataclysmic solar plasma, according to the theory of people such as Dr. Robert Schoch. And here again we see another example of it. The upper part of that column was in good shape, but the lower section is basically burnt off. And here again you see the interior of what's called the Holy of Holies, and it too shows scorching, and the stone is basically peeling off the surface. Now in another location we have this incredible object made of calcite. It originally was one piece of stone. That's the absolute truth. It was originally one piece of stone. It's been badly repaired in more recent times, but no one has any idea where the quarry for this stone is located. It's likely not even from Egypt. And here we see the interior. Again, it's been heavily repaired, but originally it was one block of stone, which is incredible. And here you see the detail of the outside surfaces. And the fact that the corners, at least on the inside, are not sharp angles, they're actually curved. So some theories are that this was a resonant structure of some kind, and the reason for the curved surfaces in the corners was to allow sound or other vibration to move through the structure freely. Then as we move back into the core area, again we see ancient stone blocks with the surfaces basically burnt off. And this has been attested to by geologist Susan Moore, who will be speaking to you in this video shortly. But again, along this axis path, 23.5 degrees off of east-west, the surfaces are hugely damaged, such as here, once again. And it's only in this direct area that this damage has occurred. So looking up, you can see that the affected area is from the surface up about 50 feet. The obelisk surfaces above that are still intact, but the lower surfaces have been affected, especially the eastern side. Eastern side affected much more than the other surfaces, so the force came from the east. And again, more of the amazing ancient core drill holes. Many different theories as to why they were done, why they were made, but they are at least as good, if not better, than 21st century technology. So again, we see another surface from the bottom up, badly eroded from some kind of heat. Upper area is not affected. And then as we continue along the path, going outside, still moving along this 23.5 degrees off east-west axis, again, you see the surfaces of the stone are weathered beyond that of normal, typical weathering by heat, or sorry, by sun and rain, etc., but by some enormous force. So once again, this is not the normal way that granite, for example, erodes. And then we also have surfaces of calcite. So the enormous heat of this plasma strike affected the stones in different ways. Calcite, it broke it into several pieces, and you can see the surface there on the right has sloughed off, maybe because of crystal expansion inside. And then we also see two more of these curious ancient core drill holes. But why just take my opinion? Let's listen to geologist Susan Moore and Patricia Awian. Okay, we're here with geologist Susan Moore, and Susan is going to describe the phenomenon that happened to this stone, which is a granite-like stone, I believe.
These stones in this little area, they've been puzzlement to us for numerous years. We keep trying to figure out what went wrong with these, why they're like it. And if you look at the rock here, you can see that the inner portion of the rock is a coarser crystalline size, and the outer side seems to have a finer crystalline crust. This is a fairly wide crust. This is a narrower crust. We just don't know why it's doing this. We actually see the same thing in a pillar, a door pillar over here. And, unless we could analyze these things, we're probably never going to know. But what it looks like to me, and this is just sheer speculation, is that the inner portion of this has recrystallized, and as it cooled, the outer portion of it cooled down quicker and made this finer grained crust.
Okay, and that would likely be the result of intense heat.
Intense heat.
Okay, we've been coming here since the first time we started exploring this temple on our own, and the keepers would bring us in here and say, this is the real Holy of Holies. And the first thing we noticed is that the destruction of this particular granite, or is it?
It's a diorite.
I'm sorry,
Diorite.
yeah. This particular rock, you can see its destruction. The destruction's from the inside out. And what is, what would cause something like that? So our theory was it was the energy of the site. But as we move in our research and our learning, we think about all the different possibilities. Yes, maybe the energy that they're harnessing a magnetic current here. But is there another event from above that connects and hits this is attracted to this magnetic energy that causes this explosion? And as Susan would just explain, could create something like this that we can't create today with our own technology.
So here are some upcoming tours for 2019. All of 2018 are full. Of course, Egypt in April of 2019, exploring the famous and not so famous ancient sites. Then January 2019, Advanced Technologies and Wisdom of the Ancients of India, a unique tour. And in February, Mexico, Ancient Technology Tour. There are megalithic sites in Mexico. And these are related books of mine at Amazon.com. You can also get the ebooks on my website. Aftershock, the ancient cataclysm that erased human history. Lost Ancient Technology of Egypt. Both of those books, of course, include Karnak, as does this third book, Lost Ancient Technology of Egypt, Volume 2. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.